question is, are we ready?
We don't pay 50 million for backups, Rob. We don't do that. And it'd be funny of us to start doing that before we actually invest properly in the first team.
This is Arsenal. You'll be under huge pressure.
I'll give the window a 6 right now. Yeah. 6, you're laughing.
What'll be an 8 out of 10 for you, window?
One of those two players will bring it to an 8.
What's a 10? Gunners Unfiltered. Hi and welcome along to AFTV. We're back for a new season with Gunners Unfiltered. The season is upon us. First game, Arsenal away at Old Trafford against Manchester United. That's a really tough start. And we got to go away to Liverpool on our third game. It's a really tough start to the season. But we've had all the transfer activity. Well, not all of it, but we've had a lot of the transfer activity. We've had the pre-season. This is it now. The season is upon us. The question is, are we ready for season 2025-2026?
No.
No.
Not in my opinion. What's yours? I didn't ask you this. So.
Well, no, in the, I'd still like to see another signing come in.
Minimum,
but,
really.
In the grand scheme of things, when you compare it to literally every team, I don't think anybody's got all of their signings in and are ready to go. No, everything's perfect. Mm-hmm. So we're as ready as can be in comparison to everybody else.
I think we could be in a better state, if I'm honest with you.
In what way?
More options attacking wise. I still think that's part of the problem. The one player you say is potentially missing is part of an attack, right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So attack wise, listen, Gyökeres is a top signing. I wanted Gyökeres, by the way. And even the whole Isak 150 mil or Gyökeres and Rodrigo, I always leant towards the Gyökeres and a Rodrigo for the same price, right? Isak's top player, best all-round striker available and on the market. But for that value, but we haven't got the and. We've got the Gyökeres. The and is Madueke at the moment. And there's a lot riding on that Madueke transfer right now. Unfair on the kid, unfair on the player. It's nothing on him, but he's come in as a top 3 signing this summer and seemingly in a position that we've needed. So that's the left wing acquisition. There's a lot riding on that.
I hope he's not the left wing.
Well, that's where he's played.
Because he's more when they.
We don't pay 50 million for backups, Rob. We don't do that, and it would be funny of us to start doing that before we actually invest properly in the first team, right? So why would we all of a sudden buy a backup for 50 mil when we needed a winger for 80 mil in Rodrigo?
Well, I don't know, because I do think he's going to be sort of a backup to Saka primarily, right? And then he can cover on the other side as well. That's what Arteta said. I'm just going by what he said. And as I said, when I compare us to everybody else, nobody's got everybody they want. That's the first thing we got to do, because there'll be a lot of people saying, oh, well, look, we're not ready. We're going in because we ain't got that. I don't think anybody's got everything, because if you look at it, Liverpool are still trying to get Isak. They're still trying to get Mark Gay. They ain't got everything they've just bought a centre-back in, but they haven't got everything they need.
They've got a lot, though.
They've got a lot, so have we.
On top of the title.
City haven't got everything they need because they're still looking at Donnarumma. They're still, they're looking at Rodrigo as well. Should they shift that Savinho? Grealish has gone, so they ain't quite got what they want.
What are we doing?
Chelsea haven't fully got what they want because Chelsea are still looking at Garnacho. They're still looking at Xavi Simons. So that's the first thing we have to do. Yeah, we have to look at everybody else in comparison.
Yeah, but you see how you said for all of them, they're doing this, they're doing that. That's still to come. What are we doing?
Oh, but
ours is going eerily quiet.
Still to come with us.
But what's to come? Because the rumours are Spurs are closer to Eze talks than we are.
I've heard that.
The rumours are Rodrigo interest City. City have some interest in Rodrigo. Yeah. These are the two profiles we've been talking about all summer. But then
the rumours are also that we're interested in those two players as well.
I mean,
so we don't know. Nobody knows. But I'm saying nobody's got everybody they need ahead of that first game of the season. Liverpool, they play on Friday. They ain't got everything. So it's not just us in this boat. And I'd say we're nearly there. We've bought in a lot of what we need. So I'm not going to go over the top with criticism of that, the fact that we ain't got that all before the first game, because there is still time in this window. And when I look at other teams, they're in a similar boat where they're still at Spurs, they haven't got all what they need.
Yeah.
You know, despite the fact that they had to play a Club World Cup and they needed to, I mean, they haven't. So I feel that the business that we've done this summer, you know, has been good so far. You know what I mean?
It's been good. It's been better than last summer in terms of incomings, that's for sure. And that's nothing against Calafiori and Marino. I like the players personally in isolation. It's just that when you cap off the summer and those two are the mains, it's not a good summer.
Yeah, last summer, but this summer
is a good summer in the incoming department. We've replaced well, and keyword here is replaced, because we have had to replace 5-6 players that have already left the club since the end of last season.
Everybody replaces.
Everyone replaces, but we were also labelled light last year by our fans, manager come the end of it. Everyone around the club admitted we were light. So the numbers also, you know, are not making sense yet to me to understand the logic that we were light numbers-wise last year, because there was still a couple. How many times, Rob, over the years? And again, this ain't just the Arteta era, Wenger era too. 1-2 players away. That is the tagline for Emirates era. 1-2 players away, because every time we've been 1-2 players away, and it's been at least a handful of times over the last 20 years. We failed to adequately get those 1-2 players, 1-2 profiles, and then lo and behold, a year after, 2 years after, we're 4, 5, 6 players away. We're loss making all of a sudden. Shit's hitting the fan. Like, we've been through that kind of scenario already many times. So it's for me, it's underwhelming the way we have gone quiet in the window and the way we've gone quiet.
£192 million. We've brought in a lot of good. Like I said, we've brought in some exciting signings, man. Victor Gyökeres,
exciting signing.
Zubimendi,
exciting signing.
You know, and then they've backed it up with players like Mosquera that they brought in. You know what I mean? They brought in Norgard, they brought in Kepa. I think some really sensible signings. All right, the Madueke one really does divide opinion, but
that's a big one.
You know, but they've brought in a lot of good signings, and I'd say I want to see at least one more. For me, still the left wing, especially the fact that, you know, because we've spoken about that, we haven't a lot of players still to be moved on, and that's where the difficulty which they're finding. And
so they say they're struggling again. That's another thing we struggle with. Like, they're struggling to move. Like, they've been come on, or all of a sudden we're trying to move players on. We've been trying to move these men on all summer.
I mean, it's not easy to just move a player
on.
Other
clubs, I find it pretty simple to move players on for value. Chelsea and Liverpool have done it all summer.
Yeah, but that's because Chelsea have got so many to move on.
Yeah, but we've got
the Chelsea. Remember the Chelsea model. The Chelsea model. I keep hearing a lot of people saying this, right? Chelsea, look what now they've moved it. By the way, they haven't moved everybody on, and they've moved a lot, and they've moved a lot of players on, right? And they haven't made a profit on those players, right? They've been like loss-making moves, right? But they've got so many players to move, right? Remember that, right? So you can't really compare us to that. Then you look at some other clubs, they've struggled. You know, United are struggling to move on.
No, but what I mean, though,
and Garnacho and all these
but
players.
But we've got players of some, like, for example, right? Let's be honest, we all knew we have a problem on left wing, yeah? From last season. And that was after being patient with the left wing for 18 months or so. Like, in my opinion, the club should have been a bit more ruthless with that position. I always maintained that I'd prefer to keep Trossard, because as a bench player, squad player, he's proven his worth. Whereas Martinelli hasn't kicked on, and to be honest, that's partly to do with tactics. And, you know, a fresh start for him would be good, and a fresh start for us would be good. The club wasn't ruthless enough to do either or.
But to me, no.
We're left in the same situation now on that left-hand side as we was last season.
But I disagree with you. I think it makes more sense to move Trossard on. As good as he's been, I think Trossard's been at Arsenal and he's done his job, right? His job's been, since we signed him, this is how I've always looked on him. Your job is to come off the bench and make an impact. He's done that brilliantly over the years, right? But he's 30 now. He's got 1 year left on his contract. He's not signed a new deal. Remember, they were discussing a new deal with him at the start of the window. He doesn't want to sign it. He's got brought in a new agent, right? So if he's like, you know, as much as I like him as a player, I think he's done well at Arsenal. But if he's obviously itching for a move or first team football and that, you have to sell him. Yeah. You have to sell him. And you can't, to me, so you keep, I think they're doing the right approach. You keep Martinelli. You sell Trossard, then you bring somebody else in that left wing position. That's why I do believe we'll get a left winger before. For me, before the end of the window, it's either we get a left winger or it's a contract extension for Trossard. And I just don't see a contract extension at the moment. As I said, 30 years of age now. So that makes sense.
But my argument isn't that if you say Trossard, cool, but the club haven't actively, tried to sort the situation out early enough.
No, but I think they have. I think that at the start of the window, they were trying to do a new deal with him. So they were looking at it and saying, right, they're exploring a new deal with him. What's the terms of that? As I said, he's brought in a new agent. He's not, they obviously...
But that's even silly. Why are we giving him a new deal? You either let him see out the year contract or you sell him in the summer.
So they're trying to sell him.
Yeah, so the new deal, forget that. Be a bit more ruthless with your actions.
No, but then you don't just say, right, actually, the day after that meeting, all right, mate, we're selling you, off you go. You got to get the right amount of money for him as well, innit? If you've got teams come in and saying, all right, yeah, we'll take Trossard, here's 10 million. You got to look at how much you want for him. They're said to want around about 20 million for him.
Even that's cheap for him, in my opinion. If Saudi showed interest, then we should be aiming higher than that.
What if they don't?
Then that's why I'd say look at Martinelli. Then we had to do something on that left-hand side.
But then why are you going to get rid of Martinelli when Trossard's the one that's got a year left on his contract?
Because I think that
Trossard's the easier one to sell. You sell Trossard, don't you?
But the one probably holds more value. The younger one, the one that still has some potential and so on. Like you said, the age of Trossard.
But you're not going to sell both.
No,
because one's going to go, right?
Yeah, so but then refresh the whole position in a year then.
So sell both.
I'm not saying sell both. Let Trossard see out his contract. It's too late now.
Yeah, but if you let him see out his contract, you get no money for him.
But that's my point. It's just too late. We know it's either going to be Trossard or nothing now. It's like the Martinelli thing. We're keeping him another season.
Yeah,
and we wasn't ruthless enough in that position.
Yeah, but there's still 3 weeks to go until the end of the transfer window. Trossard will probably move, and then they'll use that money to.
Fingers crossed we do that because we can't be allowing Rodrigo to go City. Because Kvara shouldn't have gone PSG without some fight at least in January. We allowed that to happen. Maybe we couldn't do nothing about it. But again, like I said with Isak, if you don't test the waters with some of these big players, you don't know.
Yeah. We don't know if they haven't tested the waters. We
know that City have, and apparently there's interest.
There's been a lot of talk that Arsenal have spoken to representatives of Rodrigo, even before the Club World Cup. City have come in recently, and they're talking to representatives. They haven't put a bid in yet, have they? City, that no one's put a bid in yet for Rodrigo.
They haven't agreed a fee with Tottenham, I guess, for Savio. So unless that happens,
all of these things could play out over the next 3 weeks. That's what I'm saying. We're not the only one in this boat. City are in this boat. Liverpool are in this boat.
But
Newcastle,
both clubs
Chelsea, Villa, everybody.
I'm even forgetting Newcastle, Chelsea. I'm looking at Liverpool, City. They already have winners in the side as well. They already have managers that have won. They already have experience at that level. So as much as we can look at them and say, are they ready and this and that?
Rush and waste money.
No, it's not about waste money. It's about, firstly, utilise it a bit better, in my opinion, because we've mentioned one of the signings. I'm not going to keep on going on about it because I'm sure it's going to come up many times this season. But, that 50 mil, was it spent wisely? We'll see in 3 weeks when the window ends. But
yeah, I think, listen, everybody makes some signings that are out of the... Listen, I'm not defending that signing because... I don't know.
No one knows.
It baffled me. It may work, and we all made look stupid.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Right, and I hope it does. It may not. Like, it's their gamble. It's their risk. They it's a real out of the blue signing.
Yeah, it has to.
But then sometimes out of the blue signings work.
It does. Ben White out of the blue. I love Ben White now, and I didn't agree with it at the time. I didn't understand it.
Kind of out of the blue. That's worked. So I'm hoping that this falls into that category. But I think, I think on the whole, so far this transfer window, and I wait to see if they bring in a left winger, I think we've done well. I think we've done some good business, man. I've liked the signings. I like Mosquera. He looks like a good acquisition, man. Listen, he's still very, very early, but I've liked the signs of him. I've liked Norgard. I do think, like, experienced player who can come do a job. I've liked Zubimendi especially. I think out of all the signings, he's the one that's really, that I've looked at pre-season and thought, this guy, when he gets fully up to speed, is going to be a real top player. And Gyökeres, listen, we've only just, he got his first goal.
I like
it's an on paper, fantastic signing. It's what we needed. We needed goals with thing. And the squad now is pretty decent. You kind of got two players, apart from that left wing position, in every position now, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's just, in my opinion, a bit more refreshing. I'll give the window a 6 right now. Yeah. 6, you're laughing, but you're thinking.
No, because I know you could.
6 is just above average, but the reality is, the next 3 weeks will say a lot.
I think at the moment I'd get a 7.
We haven't sold well. Moment.
Yeah, I mean...
we haven't at all, really, to be honest.
But again, that thing about people, again, a lot of times people are pointing to Chelsea, as I said, they've got more to sell. We haven't really got... We've got actually some very saleable players, but we don't want to sell them.
But we should have decided on Martinelli or Trossard. That's where we if you wanted Trossard or I wanted Martinelli, why
is Trossard they've decided on? That's the one that's going to go. And, the ones that are going to go, Trossard, Zinchenko, Reece Nelson,
Lokonga,
Vieira, Hein, Vieira. There's 6 players, right, that have got to be shifted before
all of them names,
yeah. But none of them are players where you say, we can get 50 mil for it. I mean, none of those players fall into that category. But a player like Reece Nelson, it would be pure profit because he's come through the ranks. Lokonga's going to be a loss. Trossard, I think, with the service he's given us and that, it's not a loss. We're getting the money back.
We can get 20 something for him.
Kivior as well falls into that category. I think I get the feeling Kivior will go as well.
Then our depth all of a sudden looks a bit funny in the light.
But you bought in Mosquera.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. You got Kivior and Trossard who've proved their worth as depth, right? Mm. I don't understand how we're all right with potentially losing them, because then people go on and say we're buying good depth this summer. Well, we don't know yet if it's good depth, but
we still got 2 in each thing.
But what we do know is Kivior and Trossard are good depth.
Yeah, but I like this Mosquera kid that they brought in. So
he looks good, yeah, but different.
So you look at defence, right? You've got right back position. Mm-hmm. You've got Ben White, Timber. Centre backs, you've got Saliba, Gabriel. Then you've got also Mosquera now.
Kivior it should be.
And Kivior, right? And then on the left-hand side, you've got
Skelly and
Calafiori. And you've still got Zinchenko and all that at the moment. But with Kivior, if he left, you've still got Calafiori you can play as a centre-back.
The guy ain't played 5 games in a row for us yet.
True, but...
So why will we get rid of the proven depth? That's going to be the next issue.
I just think that if they do get rid of Kivior would command you could get a 25-30 million for Kivior. That's how they're probably looking.
And if they reinvest it in a quality player, then we won't think about it too much.
I agree with you on. It's what you use the money for. What do you use the money to reinvest? Also, I always feel that there should be a little bit of that money held over for January, because you never know what can happen with
with us.
That's what I'm saying. So you need a little fund there in case things ain't really going right, or has he got an injury here, or you know what I mean. So, but so far I give it a 7.
Yeah, I mean you're not too far off mine. It's not like last summer.
Yeah, I knew you'd remind me of that.
But I'm telling you, the next 3 weeks are massive, because there's 2 players linked to other clubs, rivals, one local, one
out of the 2 of them.
Rodrigo. For me, it's always been Rodrigo.
Why?
I just like him as a footballer. Talent-wise, I think he's got something as a winger that none of our wingers have, right? He can just do something out of nothing. And then on top of that, he's got the work rate. He's got the ability to be second fiddle, in a sense where he might have to be the water carrier of the attack. He's done that at Real. Listen, Saka is the star boy over here because he's come through the system and all of that. But Rodrigo can come and give another different element that, unfortunately, Martinelli hasn't grown into his game, which is the ability to be able to beat 1-2 players, create a bit of space, and get a few goals for yourself. So for me, Rodrigo's the profile. I think that left hand side. Imagine Rodrigo, Saka either side of Gyökeres.
Yeah.
We're talking a frightening front three for very different reasons, different formulas there.
I also think I wouldn't mind Eze as well.
I like Eze.
If it was down to the 2 of them, I'd probably side Eze. Although logically, your one makes more sense because Eze's not really a left winger. We really need a left winger, to be honest. But Eze is just his quality. I was like, would that help to unlock defences? So
I think we need both. We ain't got enough right-footed players in attack.
I don't think we're going to get both.
We're not going to get both, Robin. That's where it becomes.
If we don't get one of them two, who would you get then? Say it was neither of those two we were able to get.
Then we're just messing about as usual, Rob.
No, but then who else would you?
I mean, we're messing about, Rob. We're messing
Malik
about.
Fofana.
Nah, I'm not hearing any of this. You've already done your Madueke, man. Bring Rodrigo in. I mean, Liao's an interesting one. I'll take Liao. But it's Rodrigo I really want.
One of them two. But Rodrigo's your priority.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have to wait and see.
For nothing.
The transfer window closes on the 1st of September. What would be an 8 out of 10 for you window?
One of those two players will bring it to an 8.
What's a 10?
Both of those players.
Right. Okay.
Simple, innit? Simple maths.
Okay.
I'm a fair guy.
Okay, listen, it's time to get into unfiltered opinions. What we got this week?
Let's bring them up.
Right, here we go. Do you want me to do this first one?
Yeah, go on then.
All this Eze talk is cool, but I'd rather Wanyeri get in games rotating with Odegaard and get a proper left winger.
Literally just ended the last conversation with this.
Did you write that?
It sounds like it. But yeah, someone thinking along the same lines. Both is ideal. If it has to be one, which is the Arsenal way, then give me Rodrigo, proper left winger. Exciting. I mean, so is Eze exciting, but Rodrigo has done it at a Champions League level. Like.
He's younger, but then he'd take time to adjust to the league more.
Maybe not.
I'd still side Eze, man, even though he's not really a left winger.
And they're right about Ranieri. Let's be real, new contract.
Yeah, and he's looked very good in pre-season. I like the way he's picked the ball up, carried it. I think he's going to have a good season.
Yeah. Played in. He mentioned playing anywhere across the front five.
Yeah. He's kind of a future Eze. It starts a little bit similar. I mean, Eze's got a little bit more quality at this stage. Yeah, no, Eze's quality, man. I like him. Okay. What we got next?
I don't think Arsenal management are serious. It seems all about money business. These do seem like me.
You wrote these, man.
Nah.
He wrote all of these.
The people are clocking. Time has been ticking and the people are clocking. It is. It's a fact. This is a fact, Rob. They're not serious.
Isn't every club about money? Oh, what you mean? They're not serious about winning the league?
Yeah, man.
Listen, all the failings and faults of they've had over the years, right? They give him a lot of money this year. They backed him, right? They've given him Gyökeres. They've given him... First of all, they give him Berta, a proper guy to go out and do these things. Then they've given him Gyökeres. They've given him Zubimendi. They've given... Right, listen, I do believe they're about money and business, right? But I don't think you can't say they haven't backed him. And they've backed him in a couple of previous seasons as well. So, yes, I'd agree with that statement that they're about money and business. I think that's every football club, but these owners are definitely. But they backed him as well. I don't think at the end of the season, Mikel Arteta's going to be able to, he's not really got much excuses this season. He's been backed.
To a certain extent, yeah, he has been backed. And signings like Madueke and Havertz, they lie on his front door. But 200 million when you made a profit the summer before, didn't spend anything in January, your PSR was sweet. You're back into the green in profit for the first time since 2018-19. In the big scheme of things, I mean, we all say, Liverpool are spending what they're spending because they didn't buy the previous summer. Well, we made profit. And the Januaries are around, both Januaries around the previous summer, we spent nothing.
Yeah, but how much do you want them to get?
This is why we might have signed Madueke for 50 mil rather than wait for an 80 mil Rodrigo because of the wages. Because we can't balance the fee with a big wage because we are still held back in some way, shape or form.
No, I think this season they've backed him. He's gone out.
He's been backed. I'm not denying that.
Right, Gyökeres, he can't this season complain.
No,
all right. We still, the window's still yet to be shut. But even though I do think, as I said, they're about money and business. Right, it is never ever dipped into their own pocket and spent any money. Right, it's always been what's been generated. That's their model. So that shows you that they are about money and business. But this summer they backed him.
Yeah, and they've Listen, we finished top 4. The job is safe. The business is safe, and that just says it all. That's going to be the same for years to come under them.
Well, I hope not. What we got next? I love these conversations. You know what? There's a light shining on that last bit, right? He says, I love these conversations. Really lays bare the differences between the two factions in the fan base. Well, I don't believe I sit in any sort of faction.
I think you do.
What faction do I sit in?
What do you call it? Let's call it the optimistic looking faction.
Right. Well, you're in the negative faction.
No,
that's what he's saying. He's in the negative faction.
I'm more pessimistic, I guess. That's the word to use. There is factions.
I try to be, with my opinions, I try to be reasonable, right? So I'll try and look at things and say, right, like what we just I spoke about there, right, about money and business. I'll try and look at it and say, yeah, despite these men being about money and business, they have backed him. So just because I've been critical of a board in the past, I'm not going to turn around and say they haven't backed him. They've backed this guy, right, this season. It's just undeniable. So I just try to be, what I try to do anytime I have opinions around the club, I try to look on it as honestly as I can. I try to weigh it up properly before coming to...
Are you optimistic about it more often than not?
Not all the time.
More often than not.
Not all the time. I was
very. We're going to win the title. I saw on DR Sports.
No, I said we can win the title.
Oh, they've titled it. You said we are. So
listen. I was having this today on DR Sports, right? Like they're saying to me, oh well, Robbie, you say definitively now if you're going to win the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. I said that's impossible. How can you say that? I say we've got a great chance. I don't even know what the draw is yet. Supposing in the FA Cup we get City away, Liverpool away.
Yeah, cups are.
Yeah, I mean, how can you? I mean, so me again. I try to be reasonable in these things, but then people will say, "Oh yeah, look, you're trying to deflect and dodge." That's not deflecting and dodging. That's just being. You know what I mean? That's just a sensible approach. How can I predict something, a cup competition, well, I don't even know what the draw is yet?
Yeah, that's fair.
Because everybody knows, everyone knows the cup competition's on the draw. When it comes to the league now, I look on it and I say, we've got a good chance of winning the league. And I can qualify it why I feel that, right? And the reason why I feel that we've got a good chance of winning the league, because I look at our team and I think whilst Liverpool does look frightening with what they've done, right? And City, I do think will be back this season. They ain't going to be like last year. They'll be much better. But I do think Arsenal have a very stable side. I've said it on multiple things, you know what I mean? They're not, the back four and the goalkeepers are the same. There's no real changes there. The midfield's more or less the same. It's only they've had it really with Zubimendi. So it's a stable enough side.
That's part of the problem, though. You see, that's where we've differed.
No, but that defence has been excellent.
It has
over
been,
the past couple of seasons.
The rest of it needed, I think, some.
But the midfield is good.
The midfield's been good.
And now they've added Zubimendi, which brings a bit more dynamism to it, right? Whereas a lot of other teams, like say a Liverpool, they've added, but those players don't have to get used. I think you saw it the other day. Frimpong, as good as he was in that game,
they're going to have to
left. I mean, Kirkes, all those guys got to get used to it. And then even I'm looking at Salah and Van Dijk. These are great players, undeniably, like world-class players, right? But they are getting a bit older. And sometimes, this is my hope more than...
This is the factions here, optimistic.
This is more my hope, right, rather than thing. But I'm just saying that you do see this happen a lot. That players that we've seen it with world-class players we've had, not in past eras, that all of a sudden...
Things change.
They just drop off. When that age thing starts to catch up on you. Now, listen, I'm not saying... I don't know.
You said this about City and then Liverpool came one.
But no, I'm on about just those two players, Van Dijk and Salah. Are they going to be able to replicate what they did?
You can understand why I'm like the way I am. Because, you know...
But we've got a great defence. We've got a great midfield, I feel. Right? It's what really the key to it this season is going to be. That left winger, do they get someone? Can Gyökeres give us the goals?
And availability.
And can Gyökeres give us the goals?
Yeah.
But if those two, if that happens,
we got,
and we stay, you know, I think injuries.
I agree. We've got a good chance.
And we stay relatively, you know, everyone gets injuries, but relatively injury free. I think we've got a great chance.
There's a lot of ifs.
So why people? So when I say these things, why is everyone laughing and saying like I'm mad or something like that?
Well, because we are going to win it, and we've got a good chance to win it.
Well, I never said we are going to win it.
So we have to adjust our DR.
And anybody who says we are, yeah, well they've done that to stitch me up, haven't they? Right. So what's the next one?
How much pressure will Arteta be under if we don't get off to a good start in the first 5 games? Immense pressure.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Straight in. They ain't no messing
and it's
about.
a tough start.
They ain't no messing about. We've got to understand the plan with Madueke pretty much straight away. He's been playing in the country a little while. There's no adjustment necessary. He played down the road, right? We got to know what's going on with him. Big signing. Zubi, Gyökeres, we know what needs to happen. We know what we expect to happen. Cool. And then everyone else needs to up their level from last season. And the first 5-6 games, as soon as it came out, I was happy with it. It's followed up by 3 fixtures in London, then a couple up north trips, and then in and around London again for the Christmas period. You know, there's many a run where you look at and think, oh, this is nice, because the start of the season is so difficult.
Yeah, tough start, man. Like, I mean, he'll be under. Listen, this is Arsenal. He'll be under huge pressure, and these are not easy games. Man United away is not easy.
It's not easy.
Not easy. Even when we're flying, it's not easy, right? Liverpool away, never, ever, ever. It was the last time we won there.
No, that was...
Right?
That was, yeah.
City at home, all right, we beat them 5-1 last year, but it could be a different City, right? They'll be coming for revenge. That's a tough game. And then Newcastle away.
Yeah.
We haven't won there for a couple of seasons. All of those are in the first 5. I don't think you could have got a more harder start. The only way it would have been harder if a City game would have been away as well. It's a really tough start, man. Really tough.
Be ready.
And I think Forest is in there as well, isn't it? Even though it's a home game.
Yeah, Forest is in there, but still.
These are all that first 5, apart from Leeds, are all teams that were in the top part of the league last season.
Yeah.
But like you said, if we can
be ready,
overcome those, come out of those relatively unscathed, then like you said, then there's a decent little run to go on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And if the club's happy with their business, then bring it on, right?
All right, now it's time for our Gunners Unfiltered archive. What we got?
I'm just trying to eat.
What's he doing in there?
Everyone was on to me.
What's he doing in there? That was Hong Kong, right?
Yeah, that was Hong Kong. Studio,
that was
Studio 39, Charles's gaff.
Yes. Big up Charles, man. He looked after us well, man.
Looked after us well.
And it was Charles on that penalty shootout. I told you.
Yeah, half time.
Yeah, big up Charles, and then he banged it in as well.
He saved someone's life before that, by the way, in the stands.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Then bagged the penalty at half time.
Wow, what a day.
And he also sorted us out that night, But I'm trying to eat. My food came a bit late that night, and then obviously everyone's already enjoying themselves, and as you can see,
where am I then?
That's what I got to deal with when, so when I'm vexed that he's not scoring goals, you can understand why.
What a banger he scored the other day.
That was a
great
nice
goal. Do you think he might be better this season because the pressure's off him?
I hope so. Do I think? I don't think. I hope.
What's that mean?
I'm not thinking. I'm hoping.
Because I've just got a feeling, right, that he might be better now that no one's saying Havertz. You've got to give 20 goals, but he can be under the radar a bit.
I hope.
All that pressure's on Gyökeres now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is 20 goals.
I wonder if he.
I hope.
Never know, man. Never know. All right. Well, listen, that's our episode today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Of course, don't forget the season is here. Arsenal going to Old Trafford to take on Manchester United. We've got it covered here on AFTV, so make sure you check it out. Optimistic for that then? You Mr. Pessimistic?
No, I think I'm predicting the win.
Predicting a win?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go and have a look at the prediction videos and all that. You'll find out. Thanks for watching.
Love. Come on.
And we'll see you again soon.